Imagine a world where sleep, your only escape from horror, is turned into a weapon against you. Your mind unravels, your body betrays you, yet your spirit clings to defiance. In World War II, the Nazis wielded sleep deprivation as a silent, savage torture to break those who dared resist Hitler's tyranny. Today we dive into the profound narratives of three individuals who valiantly resisted Hitler's brutal regime and its enforcers. Stay tuned until the very end to witness their chilling fate and the unimaginable torture they endured along the way. Warsaw, Poland, August 1943. The Warsaw Ghetto is a wasteland of rubble and despair, its streets haunted by the ghosts of those deported to death camps. Jakob Weiss, a 28-year-old Jewish pianist, once filled concert halls with Chopin's melodies, his fingers weaving magic. Now, he's a courier for the WWII, the Jewish combat organization, slipping through alleys to deliver coded messages for an uprising against the Nazis. On a sweltering August night, as the air hums with distant gunfire, Gestapo boots storm his attic hideout, betrayed by a neighbor's greed. They drag Jakob to the Gestapo headquarters on Sucha Avenue, a fortress of terror where screams echo through concrete walls. The air reeks of sweat, fear, and stale tobacco. His hands, once nimble on piano keys, are bound with rope that cuts into his wrists, leaving raw welts. A Gestapo officer, his face sharp as a blade, leans across a scarred table, eyes glinting with malice. "Names, Weiss," he hisses, breath sour with schnapps. "Give us the job leaders, their safe houses, or you'll beg for death." Jakob's heart pounds like a frantic metronome. I can't break. The uprising is our last hope. He pictures his sister, Mira, 16 and fierce, hiding in the sewers with a stolen pistol, her braids swinging as she whispered, "Don't let them win." She's counting on me. His fight is for Mira, for the ghetto's survivors, for a Poland free from Hitler's grip. Every message he's carried is a spark for the ZOB's plan to strike back. The torture begins without a blow. They chain Jakob in a cramped cell, arms shackled above his head, toes barely touching the floor. A bulb blazes endlessly, its light searing his eyes. When his knees buckle or eyelids drop, a guard slams a baton against the bars, the clang a gunshot in his skull. "No sleep for traitors!" they snarl. Sleep is my music, Jakob thinks. They're stealing it, but not my soul. He hums Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major in his mind, each note a rebellion, tying him to the man he was. Sleep deprivation is a merciless poison. After 24 hours, Jakob's legs tremble and his mouth is dry as ash. By 36 hours, his vision fractures, the bulb's light splitting into halos. Hallucinations creep in. He sees Mira in the corner, whispering, "Hold on. Is she real?" he wonders, his mind teetering. By 48 hours, his thoughts are a shattered mosaic. He sees his piano, keys dripping blood, and hears a child's scream that isn't there. The Gestapo demand names, their voices cutting through the fog. Jakob's voice rasps, but he spins lies, fake safe houses in Praga, buying time for the WWII. Why sleep deprivation? It leaves no scars, no proof for the world to see. The Nazis know it unravels the mind, sparks paranoia, and breaks resolve. Jakob's body screams for rest. His heart stutters. His thoughts tangle like barbed wire. Every second I resist, Mira lives. He thinks of smuggled rifles in cellars, Molotov cocktails in sewers, the Job's dream of rebellion. For Poland, for my people. His defiance burns, fueled by memories of his mother's lullabies and concert crowds. On the fourth day, a new interrogator tries a softer approach, offering water and a chair. "Just one name," he coaxes, his smile a trap. Jakob's mind is a haze, but he sees the lie. They think I'm broken. He mumbles a tale of a resistance cell in Lublin, sending the Nazis on a futile chase. Enraged, they hurl him back into his cell, where he collapses into a brief, dreamless sleep, dreaming of Mira playing his piano. The torture stretches to 6 days. Jakub's body is a husk, his mind a battlefield. The Gestapo scream, but he holds fast, clinging to Chopin, to Mira, to the uprising. On the 7th day, frustrated, they mock him for deportation. He was sent to Auschwitz in September 1943, where the gas chambers claimed him. But his silence saves the Job's plans. In April 1943, the Warsaw Ghetto uprising erupts. Rifles fire, Molotov cocktails rain, a stand fueled by Jakub's secrets. As he fades, he thinks of Mira, safe somewhere, and his music. I played my part. The song lives on. His sacrifice echoes through history. The nightmare continues after Jakub Weiss's stand in Warsaw. We now turn to Rotterdam, where another soul faced the agony of sleeplessness to protect the resistance. Rotterdam, Netherlands, June 1942. The city lies in ruins, its heart gutted by the Luftwaffe's 1940 Blitz, its canals reflecting scars of shattered buildings. Anna de Vries, a 34-year-old nurse, is a quiet hero of the Dutch resistance, smuggling bandages, morphine, and penicillin to safe houses sheltering fighters and Jewish families. Her hands, steady from years of suturing wounds, carry hope in a worn satchel. On a rain-soaked evening, as she pedals through cobbled streets, a collaborator's betrayal lands her in the hands of the SS at a checkpoint, her bicycle basket stuffed with contraband medical supplies. They haul Anna to Scheveningen prison, the Orange Hotel, a grim fortress where Dutch patriots vanish into silence. Her cell is a concrete tomb, walls slick with damp, the air sharp with mildew and despair. SS officers, their uniforms pristine, tower over her, boots gleaming in the dim light. "Who supplies the resistance?" they demand, voices cold as steel. "Give us the doctors, the safe houses, the routes." Anna's pulse races, but her resolve is granite. I've seen their evil, hospitals bombed, children starved. She pictures her patients, the young fighter she stitched up, his eyes blazing with defiance, the Jewish girl she hid in her attic, clutching a doll. They're my fight. I won't let the Nazis win. They force Anna into a stress position, back pressed against the wall, arms outstretched, legs trembling like saplings in a gale. A gramophone blares Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries at ear-splitting volume. The soaring chords a grotesque assault on her senses. When her eyes droop, guards douse her with ice-cold water, the shock stealing her breath. Sleep is my strength, my anchor, she thinks. They're cutting it loose, but they can't break my heart. As a nurse, she knows the body's limits, dehydration, muscle failure, hypothermia, but also its resilience. Her training is a lifeline, a beacon in the dark. By the second day, Anna's thoughts fracture. She sees her brother, Peter, killed in the 1940 Blitz, standing in the cell, his coat singed, his voice a memory. "You're tougher than this, Anna." Is he real? She wonders, her mind slipping like sand through her fingers. Hallucinations weave through memories, the scent of her mother's tulip garden, the sting of antiseptic in her clinic, the weight of a stethoscope around her neck. The SS press harder, offering a blanket, a sip of coffee if she talks. "Every moment I resist saves a life," she tells herself, reciting her patients' names. Lars, Esther, Jan, like a prayer to anchor her soul. Sleep deprivation was a Nazi favorite, a torture that left no bruises but ravaged the mind. It disrupted memory, sparked hallucinations, and eroded willpower, making prisoners vulnerable. Anna's body aches, her heart races erratically, her vision blurs into a kaleidoscope of pain. Hitler's Reich is a plague, and I'm part of the cure. She thinks of the resistance's work, derailing trains, forging papers, hiding families from the Gestapo's claws. Each silent second is a blow against tyranny, a brick in the wall of defiance. On the fourth day, the SS try a new tactic, dragging in a prisoner, a boy, barely 16, bruised and trembling. "Talk, or he suffers," they threaten. Anna's heart twists, but she spots the boy's clean shoes, a telltale sign of a plant. They're liars, like their Führer. She feeds them lies, a fake doctor in Utrecht, a non-existent safe house, buying time. By the sixth day, her body is a husk, her legs leaden, her eyes sandpaper. The SS scream, their patience fraying, but Anna's will is iron. "I'm a nurse. I save lives, not betray them." She clings to memories of her clinic, the gratitude in her patients' eyes, the hope of a free Netherlands. On the seventh day, Anna collapses during interrogation, her body giving out, but her spirit unbowed. The SS, frustrated, sentenced her to a labor camp in Germany, believing her broken, but her silence protects her network. In 1943, her comrades sabotage a Nazi munitions depot, a blow made possible by her defiance. Anna endures the camp's horrors, her nurse's heart keeping her alive. She returns to Rotterdam in 1945, after the Allies liberate the Netherlands. Standing in her rebuilt clinic, her hands steady as she sutures wounds, she looks at her patients, their scars a map of survival, and feels Peter's presence. "We fought, and we won," she thinks, her heart full, her courage a quiet flame that never flickered. The darkness of World War II presses on. After Jacob Weiss's sacrifice in Warsaw and Anna de Vries's courage in Rotterdam, we turn to Buchenwald, where a poet's words became a rebellion against Hitler's lies. Weimar, Germany. October 1944. Buchenwald concentration camp looms like a scar on the earth, its barbed wire slicing the sky, its smokestacks choking the air with death's stench. Stefan Müller, a 41-year-old German poet, is arrested in Berlin for distributing anti-Nazi pamphlets, his verses a clarion call to resist Hitler's propaganda. Branded a political prisoner, he's sent to Buchenwald, where the SS aimed to crush his voice. His capture comes on a crisp autumn night, as he slips a pamphlet under a neighbor's door, unaware of Gestapo eyes glinting in the shadows, their boots silent on the cobblestones. Stefan's interrogation room is a windowless crypt, the air thick with cigarette smoke and menace. An SS officer, his face scarred like a battle map, leans forward, breath reeking of tobacco and spite. "Your dissident friends, Müller," he growls, voice low and sharp. "Names, or you'll rot here." Stefan's mind churns like a storm over a broken sea. My poems are my sword, slashing through their lies. He thinks of the underground presses, pamphlets slipped into mailboxes, each word a spark against the Reich's darkness. I fight for Germany's soul, for a future where truth outlives tyranny. The torture begins with brutal precision. They force Stefan to march in circles in the camp's courtyard, hauling stones until his shoulders scream, the weight bruising his bones. At night, loudspeakers blast the Horst Wessel-Lied, the Nazi anthem, its notes a poison seeping into his ears. Guards hurl insults, their voices shrapnel tearing at his resolve. Sleep is my freedom, and they're caging it, he thinks. But my words soar. He recites his poetry silently, each stanza a shield, each rhyme a defiance. A line from his latest work. Truth is a flame no chain can bind, loops in his mind, anchoring him against the chaos. By the third day, Stefan's mind teeters on a razor's edge. He sees ink spilling from the clouds, forming words in the dirt. His poems, alive, mocking the SS with their resilience. Hallucinations grip him. He hears his wife, Clara, safe in hiding, her voice a whisper. "Keep writing, Stefan." Am I mad, he wonders, his thoughts a fraying thread stretched thin. The SS dangle rest, a crust of bread, a sip of water, if he betrays his comrades. He laughs, a hoarse, defiant rasp that echoes in the cell. My words will bury you. By the fourth day, the SS scream, their patience fraying like old rope, but Stefan's resolve is iron. Hitler's Reich is a lie, and truth is my weapon. His poems, memorized by fellow prisoners, spread through the barracks, whispered in the dark like a secret rebellion. A young Polish prisoner, gaunt but defiant, recites Stefan's lines back to him during a stolen moment in the courtyard, his eyes alight with hope. My words live, Stefan thinks, his heart swelling despite the pain, his poetry a spark igniting others in Buchenwald's despair. On the sixth day, the SS escalated its cruelty, forcing Stefan to stand in a freezing cell, water dripping from the ceiling, soaking his ragged clothes. The cold bites, the anthem blares, and his hallucinations deepen. He sees Clara penning his poems in a golden light, her voice singing his words. I'm still here, he tells himself, clinging to his verses like a lifeline. He feeds the SS lies, fake printers in Munich, invented allies, his mind a labyrinth they can't navigate. By the seventh day, enraged by his silence, they sentence him to the quarry, where stones crush bones and hope. But Stefan's defiance ripples through the camp, his poetry a quiet fire spreading among the prisoners. In April 1945, as the Allies close in, Buchenwald's prisoners stage a revolt, overpowering the guards with stolen weapons and raw courage. Stefan, frail but unbroken, joins them, his voice rising in a poem of liberation as American tanks breach the gates, their rumble a hymn of freedom. We're alive, he thinks, his words soaring like birds released from cages. He survives, returning to Berlin in 1946, publishing his poetry in a small bookstore where Clara stands beside him, her hand in his. Each verse is a monument to resistance, a testament to truth's endurance. My truth outlasted their hate. Jakub, Anna, and Stefan endured Gestapo sleep deprivation, a silent torture. Jakub's silence fueled the Warsaw Ghetto uprising. Anna's courage protected her resistance network. Stefan's words ignited hope in Buchenwald. Love for family, freedom, and truth empowered them, showcasing the indomitable human spirit against Nazi oppression. Remember their courage. Let Jakub, Anna, and Stefan inspire you to stand firm for what's right. Subscribe to keep their legacy alive. Share this video to spread their fire, and comment below what you would fight for in the face of such darkness.